In this video, I like to discuss about fundamentals of art, the building block of an artwork. The fundamentals of art are what I consider to be the building blocks of an artwork. They are color, composition, value, form, brushwork, and perspective. 1. Color. I like to break color into two parts, color theory and color mixing and application. Successful use of color in painting require a thorough understanding of both. Color theory refers to the body of principles which address how we see color and what it is. The theory is much easier to comprehend by breaking color into its three individual elements being hue, saturation, and value. Hue, where the color is located on the color wheel. Red, blue, yellow, green, these are different hues. Saturation, how vivid or rich a color is. A color which is highly saturated is vivid. A low saturation color is weak and close to gray. Value, how light or dark a color is on a scale of white to black. High value colors are light and low value colors are dark. Color mixing and application is all about taking what we know about color and effectively translating that into our paintings. Most of this comes down to the experience and the time we spend on the canvas. Color mixing exercise and creating small color studies are also incredibly valuable for training your use of color. 2. Composition. Composition broadly refers to how well all the visual elements work together in an artwork. The visual elements are the building block of artwork and comprise of line, shape, color, value, space, form and texture. 3. Value. Value refers to how light or dark a color is. It is one of the three elements of a color, but it is usually considered as a separate fundamental area due to its importance to the structure and appeal of an artwork. Painting with an accurate values can go a long way in giving your art a quality of realism even if your brushwork is loose. 4. Form and structure. Form and structure refer to the use of visual elements to convey three-dimensional object on a flat surface. This could be done through methods such as shading, contrast, or contour drawing. Most subject can be simplified down to the basic forms of spheres, boxes, and cylinders. Understanding the basic forms and structures which will make up your subject will allow you to paint more convincing depictions. That is why many portrait artists dedicate so much time to studying a human anatomy. 5. Brushwork. How you use your brush and manipulate paint on the canvas can be a key feature of your artwork. Much like the bold strokes in Vincent van Gogh's work or the fleeting dabs of color in Claude Monet's work. A general guideline I like to follow with my brushwork is to match the nature of my brushwork to the nature of the subject I am painting. For example, to paint rough turbulent water, I would use rough turbulent brushwork. For calm water, I would use calm smooth brushwork. I also like to use my brush to follow the contours of the subject. This helps reiterate the form. 6. Perspective. Perspective in art refers to the depiction of three-dimensional environment on a two-dimensional surface in a way that captures the relative size, position, and appearance of the objects. It is made up of two parts, linear perspective and aerial perspective. Linear perspective is used by artists to determine the relative size, position, and shape of the objects by using drawn or imagined lines which convert at a point on the horizon. When one vanishing point is used, that is called one-point perspective. When two vanishing points are used, that is called two-point perspective, and so on. Linear perspective is more important when painting rigid architecture than it is for landscape painting. That is because mistakes in perspective tend to be more apparent when painting things aerial or atmospheric perspective. Aerial perspective is the effect of the atmosphere on the view of the objects as they recede into the distance. As an object recedes into the distance relative to the viewer, the contrast, value, color saturation, and detail all fade. When beginner painters ask me to critique one of their paintings, one of the common problem is the distant element of the painting are painted with the same level of the detail and color as the rest of the paintings. This gives an unnatural aerial perspective. In many cases, the most realistic mountain you could paint in the far distance may be nothing more than a simple faint blue color shape.